and welcome to Wildly Curious, where the questions are unhinged, the science is real, and honestly, we're just getting started. I'm Laura.
And I'm Katy. And...
Ever wonder why a bat might glow? Or how frogs made it to space long ago? Dinosaurs trained for delivery runs. We're asking the questions, the weird ones. Wildly curious, where science gets strange and kinda hilarious. For nature's wonders to ancient funk, it's facts and fun rolled into one big chunk. Wildly curious, weird is wonderful. Come join the fuss.
Well, this is week 2 of our mini episodes where we're talking about just how we know stuff, but also we don't really know a whole lot of stuff still about Earth and in general. So Laura talked about something in space, which I think that was a good division. Is your next one talking about something on Earth?
Yes.
Okay,
kind of.
The one that I'm talking about is something on Earth. So I think I've said this before, that I had a really hardcore X-Files phase when I was in middle school. And this was definitely one that was discussed on the X-Files. There was a whole episode about it, and it's the Bermuda Triangle.
Ah, classic nature mystery.
Right? Yeah.
We've even mentioned it in passing on here before.
We have.
With, like, the sharks one.
Yeah,
and navigating.
Yeah. In talking about the eels and how we don't really know what's going on, because that whole place, I forget what it's called, but that whole area where we know that they mate is in the Bermuda Triangle.
Sea.
Yeah. All right. So when you think of mysterious places on Earth, one name pops up again and again. It's the Bermuda Triangle. And it's not really like, I don't know. It's not like something visible. It's just the triangle area between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. That's it. It's about 500,000 square miles of water, which is an area bigger than Texas, which if you've never been to Texas, that means nothing. If you live here, you know that you can drive from the north side of the state to the south and be driving for 10 hours and you're still in Texas. So it's pretty darn big. So sailors and pilots have nicknamed it the Devil's Triangle, which actually existed.
So ominous.
No, right? And that existed way, way longer than the term and the name Bermuda Triangle. So for over a century, it's been blamed for the disappearance of ships, planes, people that are on them. The earliest reports go back to the early 1900s, but the legend really took off in 1945 when Flight 19, a squadron of 5 U.S. Navy planes, vanished during a training mission.
Yeah, and that's like that's military stuff.
Yeah, and they just, poof, gone. They radioed in confusing messages about faulty compasses, and then nothing. A rescue plane sent after them also disappeared. That story set the stage for decades of speculation. What was it about this patch of ocean that seemed to swallow just anything and everything whole? And it wasn't until, like I said, 1964 that we actually coined the name Bermuda Triangle. So yes, like a lot disappears here. But to put this in kind of a perspective, actual records indicate that around 50 ships have disappeared and 20 planes.
That's a lot.
Well, it is, but also whenever you consider the number of planes and everything and ships that actually go through here on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's not a whole lot here. So this area, though, with disappearances is still more concentrated, as far as disappearances go, still a more concentrated area than any other area of the Atlantic. But oddly enough, it's not hundreds and hundreds of what I think the Bermuda Triangle gets like a rap for, is that, hundreds and hundreds of things disappear.
Yeah,
no.
right. Or like you aren't guaranteed to go missing if you happen to go through that area.
Yeah, it's like a horrible place to go through. Like I said, this area is a busy shipping corridor for sure, but a study conducted by WWF, World Wildlife Federation, which I thought was a weird one
to be investigating it.
So it was WWF. They conducted a study in 2013 that found that this area wasn't even on the top 10 list of most dangerous bodies of water on the planet.
Oh.
Because again, most of the ones that are like the most dangerous, North Sea, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like shipwrecking areas.
Yeah. This is 50 and 20 go missing. Objects are missing. So the Bermuda Triangle definitely isn't just some quiet, forgotten corner of the sea. It is one of the biggest, like I said, shipping and flight corridors in the world. Because you picture how big it is. Bermuda, Miami, like it's a huge area.
And everybody likes to visit.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's,
Yeah, just flying back and forth, going shipping corridors. It's huge. Thousands of vessels pass through every year. So maybe it's not surprising that accidents happen, but still it's weird that it's a complete disappearance in these areas. You know what I mean? Ones we at least, like, there's been some huge, unfortunately, some major plane crashes in the ocean, and then we don't see any wreckage for months and months and months, sometimes years after. And a lot of these ones that happened that were recorded have happened a long time ago, where we're not going to have people with the data and QR codes on all the pieces and parts of the plane and stuff. But so anyway, so let's dive into the mystery real quick. So what actually happens here? All right. Reports tend to show a few different patterns. Vessels disappearing without sending distress calls. So they either just completely go MIA, as if whatever happened was too sudden to react to. Compasses and instruments behaving erratically, like the one in 1945. They actually sent the distress call saying their compasses and things were going crazy and they didn't know what was going on.
But it's not like that with everybody's instruments, right? But just for people that have had weird stuff happen. It's not like every instrument that goes through here has that.
Correct. Yeah, okay. It's just a lot of the ones that have disappeared the ones that could send out a distress signal have said, especially the one in 1945 with the planes where, hey, everything's going crazy. I don't know what's going on. But even modern radar, sonar, and GPS, some wrecks in this region are just never found. Like I said, no debris, no oil slicks, nothing at all. So it's kind of weird. And it's not, like I said, it's not like this is the only place that ships or planes vanish.
Yeah.
Oceans are dangerous anywhere. You're flying, you're traveling over absolutely nothing for hours and hours on end. But the Bermuda Triangle adds another layer of just complexity and just, hey, this is odd that it keeps happening here. So what are some theories that go on? So I think the more popular one, whenever I was a kid, that was like, oh my gosh, I think this is what's happening, that scientists came out with, was the methane hydrates. So under the seafloor in this region, there are deposits of methane hydrates, which is basically frozen methane gas trapped in sediments. Okay. If those suddenly rupture, bubbles of gas can shoot the water, dropping its density. A ship floating on water of normal density suddenly finds itself floating on like a froth, you know what I mean? Like from a beer or something. And it would sink almost instantly. And this could explain the sudden disappearance without distress calls, because you're just like bobbing along and you're playing, all of a sudden just boom, and you're just gone.
That's nuts.
Which would be terrifying. Because you wouldn't have any time to react to anything. You know what I mean? Nothing.
You don't float anymore.
Yeah, it just gone. Just poof, gone to the floor. Another theory is rogue waves. So the Bermuda Triangle sits in a storm-prone part of the Atlantic where multiple weather systems collide. Under the right conditions, waves can stack together into a single monster, what they call rogue wave, which is over 100 feet tall.
This is like my nightmare.
No, right? You see the videos of the North Sea and everything. I'm just like...
Never in a million years. No. That movie, The Perfect Storm... That gives me a panic attack, even though that's the limit. That's Laura's fear.
Yeah,
it's the ocean where you're already in the middle of nowhere. I'm not in an element I'm very good in. And then you see that,
but also,
I'd be like, we're going to die.
Yeah, but also, okay, it's 2025, right?
Yeah.
There is no reason for me to be in that situation. Wherever I'm going, wherever I need to see, there's another alternative mode to get there rather than being on a ship with 100-foot waves. There's 1,000 other ways I can do whatever I need to do to get to the end. There is zero reason for me to go through that. So that's how I look at it, as I'm never going to see that because there's no reason for me to see it. So rogue waves. And again, they're not sailors' tall tales. These have been shown on satellites and by the buoys that they have in the oceans that record like heights. And so obviously slamming one of those into a ship would explain, oh my gosh, why they got hit. But typically nowadays they see these storm fronts coming and things like that.
But not that unexpected.
Yeah, whenever there's storms coming. So one of the weird ones though, and this definitely at least explains part of what happened in 1945, magnetic anomalies. So the Bermuda Triangle is one of the few places on Earth where true north, which is the geographic North Pole, and magnetic north, the magnetic pole compasses point to, actually align. And this is called the agnostic line. So this means that compasses here can point correctly, but it still confuses navigators. So if you think of like a plane in 1945, it was very, very, very manual systems. You know what I mean? It wasn't satellites, nothing like how we have today. It was very manual. So them calling and being like their compasses are going all weird and stuff like that. Yes, because if you have two separate systems and your math and everything to work those two systems are taking into consideration two different points, and now all of a sudden it's one point. Yeah, it's going to throw your stuff off. So that would make sense. But that also means that compasses here point correctly, but can still, like I said, confuse navigators, especially before GPS. And we already kind of hit on this one a little bit, just the extreme weather. Because of storms and all those systems, this is Hurricane Alley. And again, before we had all the technology that we have, you would never know that a hurricane, you know, was coming to it. You'd be like, oh, look at the skies. That looks like bad weather. You wouldn't know that, a hurricane is coming at you. So where does all this stand? Many disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle have been explained with good old-fashioned science. Ships sank in storms.
Right.
That was one.
Just couldn't call for help because they had no radio.
Yep. Pilots ran out of fuel because they miscalculated. They got disoriented because of the navigation stuff. I mean, human errors account for more than a few tragedies, of course. And statistically, as far as proportions go, the triangle doesn't actually have more accidents than any other heavily traveled part of the ocean. It just seems like it has a lot because of the high amount that is going through there. So, of course, like the thousands and thousands, of things that go through there every month, that's not going to make the news.
Well, and right, like how much in modernity is actually happening?
Yeah.
Like how many have gone missing in the last 50 years? Probably a lot less than in the beginning because of all these. Yeah. Like we can explain these disappearances now.
Yes, absolutely. And so the X-Files episode was there was a ship that went missing. So they went on a ship to go find it, and then it's like they time traveled back to whenever that ship was missing in the 40s or something like that.
Yeah. Man, I watched like a really disturbing Redbox movie back in college about the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
It was called like it might have been called The Devil's Triangle.
Probably.
And it was like not a good movie, but like one of those movies where afterwards I was like, oh, I don't like this at all.
Right.
Basically this girl wakes up on a cruise ship and there's nobody on it but her.
Yeah.
And then horrible things keep happening and she keeps dying.
Oh.
And then coming back because of this weird time loop here in the Bermuda Triangle. Horrible. Yeah. Horrifying.
That's how the X-Files episode was. It was all the people that they knew were on the ship, but it was them in 1947 if they existed back in like the 40s or whatever. It was just like a time loop thing and they were stuck.
Woo, that's horrible.
Yeah, right? So anyway, a lot of the stuff, like we said, can be explained now. It definitely doesn't happen as much. And again, it's something that we would come across as kids in the 90s and your DKNY books and stuff. That'd be like Bermuda Triangle Mysteries, but you don't really see it anymore. And it is because it's kind of like...
people don't talk about it as much.
Yeah, because it is. Yeah, technology is advanced. So our ships and everything, they rely on satellites, not just Earth magnets and things to be able to navigate. So things are a little bit different. And again, understanding, just the logic behind the proportions of it. But yeah, so Bermuda Triangle. Cool. I'm still always going to be an X-Files kid. Still love the X-Files.
Still should be called the Devil's Triangle. It's just a way cooler name.
Yeah, way cooler. Way more ominous, too. I remember...
And, like, also the other parts of the triangle that aren't Bermuda.
Right? No, right?
You're like...
Right?
It's not just about Bermuda.
Well, because it starts at Miami, and I think that was missed by a lot of people growing up, is that's right off... right off the coast, and that's, like, a huge, like, heavy area of ports and planes and stuff. So, yeah, Bermuda Triangle.
Cool.
All right, guys, that is our second mini episode. Again, we have 2 more left, and then we will be starting season 13. So make sure you go check us out on social media, Wildly Curious Podcast, and we will talk to you next week.
See ya.
Ever wonder why a bat might glow? Or how frogs made it to space long ago? Dinosaurs trained for delivery runs. We're asking the questions, the weird ones. Why?